This is a very special week for me because it is my birthday this week. I was born in May 5th, 1990, so my birthday was this Wednesday. By the time I'm recording this video, I'm still 30, but by the time you are watching this video, I'm already 31. So, since it is my birthday this week, I wanted to do something different. It's not that different because there are a lot of videos like this one on YouTube, but I wanted to do my version of it. So, as I'm sure you already saw by the title, I am sharing with you 31 things I've learned in the 31 years that I've been living in this planet of ours. Hello, welcome. If you're new here, I'm Catz. I make videos every week, and since this week is indeed my birthday, you can subscribe if you want to. I wanted to make this list kind of specific, kind of fun, kind of serious, a bit of everything. I did not want to put those obvious things like money does not bring you happiness. I'm pretty sure we all know that. I prepared a list. I have it right here in my phone. So without further ado, I will share with you my wisdom that I gathered throughout all these years. First thing that I want to share with you is that you can actually take your canary to the vet. Thinking about it now, it seems obvious, but it is not. I grew up with my mom never taking our canaries to the vet. I have a canary, which I deeply regret purchasing, but it's a long story. But anyway, I did purchase a canary, and eventually he got sick, and I googled to see if there were any veterinaries nearby, and turns out there are veterinaries that specialize in exotic animals. So yeah, you can take your canary to the vet. I took mine to the vet, and it basically saved his life. He actually got surgery. Yes, so you not only you can take your canary to the vet, but they can actually have surgery. I would never imagine that such a tiny animal could have surgery, but yeah, it is thanks to that he is still alive. So if you have canaries, turtles, rats, any exotic animal that is not a cat or a dog, do some research for exotic vets in your area. If you are lucky, you will have several options. Next thing I learned is that once you get a dog, your house will never be perfectly clean again. Never, ever, ever. If you are thinking about getting a dog, first of all, please consider adopting instead of buying a dog. And secondly, just be conscious that your house will never be perfectly clean. It can be for a few seconds and then bam, it's dirty again. Next thing is quite random. You can fuck up your eardrum by getting a goodnight kiss from your mom. This happened to me. I was stretching like this to reach my mother. She was trying to give me a goodnight kiss. I felt something weird in my eardrum. And fast forward to the middle of the night, I was crying in pain. Long story short, I basically damaged my eardrum. I had to take antibiotics. At the time I was working at the radio station and I could not work. For a few days or weeks, I can't remember, I could not use headphones. All of this because I was getting a goodnight kiss from my mom. Another random injury that I've learned it can happen to you is that you can fuck up your back by sneezing too hard. My advice to you is if you feel that a big sneeze is coming, breathe in and then sneeze. I once sneezed hard and I ended up laying in my bed not able to move for around an hour. After that I was in pain for a few days, so I ended up going to the hospital where they gave me pills, an injection, and I ended up with a needle right here on my hands. I don't even know what they put me in. I know that I was feeling dizzy afterwards and I have to lay down. Yeah, and all of this because I sneezed too hard. Friends do not necessarily last forever, and that's okay. You know, when you are a teenager and you think that the friendships you have and that you treasure so much will last forever, oftentimes they do not, and that's okay. It's just life. People change, life goes on. With time passing, when you are at school, you have a lot of things with common with your peers, with your colleagues, with your classmates. And once you leave school, people go into different directions. People change. Like I said several times in other videos, we change our personality, our values, our opinions, and some friendships just don't make sense anymore after a few years, and that's okay. You can treasure the times that you had with your friends, and you can move on without them, without feeling guilty and without feeling that you failed somehow in your friendship, you know? Some friendships have their time and they only make sense in that particular time, and that's okay. You are capable of much more than you think. I've been learning this throughout the years, a lot of stuff that I thought I could never do ever, and I ended up being able to do it. So this applies to so much things, you know. Someone said that everything seems impossible until it is done, and that is so true. You can handle a lot more than you think, you just have to try, give it a go. Now, related to this, I have learned that there is no such thing as talent. Now, hear me out. I know that some people can be prone to a certain type of activity, a certain sport. You can have genetics that help you in some way in particular areas of your life. But what I mean with there's no such thing as talent is that talent plays a really small part in how successful you are with something. What matters the most is your effort. So do not convince yourself that you should not do something because you are just not talented. So someone was telling me the other day, oh, I wish I had learned how to play the guitar, but I was never talented. And I was talking with this person and understood that this person never really practiced that much. It tried a few times. It saw, oh, this is too hard, maybe I'm not talented, and just gave up. And, it led me thinking how many things we give up because we think that we are not talented enough, where in fact the talented people are just people that did not give up, that practiced and practiced and practiced until they were good at it. Whatever it is, whether it's some sort of art, a sport, math, whatever it is, cooking, taking care of yourself, anything really. You can do anything. You just have to practice. Talent, it's just that. It's just the consequence of practice. My dog is barking. I don't know if you can hear it. Another random thing is that I've learned, thanks to the internet, the correct way to use bobby pins. I don't know about you, but for years I thought that you were supposed to put them like this, with the straight line, the straight parts below, where in fact you should use it like this, with the straight part above. So with this part above, you take the part of your hair that you want to fix, and you do it like this. And it doesn't go anywhere. I spent so many years of my life frustrated with these bobby pins because they just would fail on me until I saw this somewhere on the internet, 9gag or something, and I understood that I was using it like this the whole time when I should be using it like this. So just wanted to share this life-changing event with you. Another thing that I've learned, and this is close to my heart, is that curly hair is awesome. I mean, any type of hair is awesome. I think it is so cool that there is so much variety around the world. I'm talking about curly hair because it is my hair. I grew up being made fun of because of it, because of the volume mainly. And even when I was working, I was told that I should straight up my hair, because it would look more professional, and that how much prettier I looked with a straight hair. And it took me a few years to understand that, you know, that's bullshit. That is bullshit. Curly hair is awesome. I effing love it now. I think it has a personality of its own. It is fun. I can straighten it when I want to. If I want to vary a little bit, because I do like to change it sometimes. And I can just go take a shower and it will be majestic again. You can have it short. With a medium size long, you can have it however you want. It's awesome, it's fun, it's unique. There are so many different types of curly hairs. It just took me a little while to learn this, so I wanted to share it with you. If you are currently at a place where you hate your hair, think again. It's actually awesome. One thing that you can do is look up on Pinterest or something other people with curly hair, so that you feel inspired, so that you see other people with curly hair besides yourself. It can really help you put things in perspective. Now, this I've learned recently. I don't know who originally said this, but first time I heard it, it was from Katrin Berndt. She's a Swedish YouTuber, now a life coach, and she said that those who matter don't mind, and those who mind don't matter. And this was in the context of not being afraid of what other people will think. If you want to do something and you are worried about what other people will think, like let's say something not very dramatic, like if you want to shave your hair, for instance, those who mind don't matter. People that will judge you, that will look at you in a different way because of your hair, they don't matter. And people that actually matter to you, they don't mind. And this, I think it is quite a good thing to learn in your life, to understand which opinions really matter to you, which persons really matter to you, and stop giving an F about everyone else that is not in that circle that you define for yourself. So, next two things I will talk based in my experience. I learned this to myself, which is that I will not get a cold by walking barefoot. And I will not get a cold by going outside with my hair still wet. This has never happened. Never. Not even once. I grew up with my mother, my grandparents, whatever, saying, don't walk around the house barefoot, you will catch a cold. Don't go outside with your hair wet, you will catch a cold. Also, don't go to bed with your hair wet, you will catch a cold. Never happened. Never. Not even once in 31 years. Another thing that I've learned, and this is also quite recent with this pandemic and the lockdown and everything, working from home, is that lack of time is not the problem. If your house is a mess, if you are not investing your time in any hobby, generally speaking, lack of time is not the problem. Because for me, at least, I found myself with a lot of free time, comparing at least with when I was going to the office every day before the pandemic hit. And I was still not managing to have my house organized. I was still not investing any time in my hobbies. Before, my excuse was that I did not have time. It was like life slapped me right in the face, like, nope, those were just excuses. Time is not the issue. Now you have time, and what are you doing with it? Nothing. It's all a matter of priorities. Generally speaking, you can be a really busy person and really don't have time, but you probably have time to exercise, to have at least one hobby, to keep your house somewhat clean, somewhat organized. Yeah, it's just a matter of priorities, organization, time management. The issue is not a lack of time. One thing very important that I've learned is that love does exist. Being a child of divorce myself, coming from a broken family, and from a family with a long history of divorces, and also having had my heart broken before, as most of you, I'm sure, there was a time of my life where I was pretty convinced that love did not exist. And I was thankfully proved wrong. Love does exist. It is quite real. It is not just imagination. And I think there is hope to everyone. Everyone can find love. And that's a good thing to learn. You can have hope, because love does exist. Maybe you haven't found it yet, but I'm sure it will come and it will be awesome. Awesome. Another thing I learned is that I don't need to eat animals. I can eat animals. I have that option, but that's it. It is an option. And that was mind-blowing to me. I grew up in the 90s being told by everyone, by school, doctors, that I had to eat meat, I had to eat fish, that if I did not eat animals, I would be sick. And I spent most of my life doing so, eating meat, lots of meat. I loved meat. And fish, I loved fish as well. Seafood, everything. And thinking to myself, it's okay because I need it. My health should be a priority. Until I knew that this was a lie. I actually don't need to eat animals. You can. I don't judge if you. I'm not that kind of vegetarian. I don't, I eat what I want, and I appreciate that people do not make nasty comments about what I eat, and I try to treat everyone with that same respect. But yeah, I thought that I needed to eat animals, and I don't. I learned that. Years pass on extremely quickly, so do not hesitate on doing something you want, because you know that it will take a few years to reach your final goal. Otherwise, those years will pass anyway, and you will be there and deeply regret not having started in the first place 3 years before. I cannot tell you how much it frustrates me not having started this channel before, when I first started thinking about it in 2015, 2016. I mean, the perks of it is that it motivates me to not give up now, because I know that if I do, I will hate myself a few years from now. You can change your opinions about literally anything, even about things that people don't usually change their minds on, like your soccer club, your religion, your political views. Your opinions on that stuff can change. Do not feel stuck in a religion, political view, soccer club, whatever, just by the sake of it, just because you want to be loyal or something. Your views can change, your opinions can change. There's nothing wrong about that. Something that I wish I have learned sooner, when I was a child or a teenager, is that I am not in any way responsible for my parents' choices, nor for the consequences of those choices. And interpret this as you want, and apply this to your life as it suits you. Something that I've heard quite recently from the Irish YouTuber Melanie Murphy is that the world problems are not your problems. And hear me out, don't get me wrong, I do believe I try to be the change that I want to see in the world. This quote, whatever you want to call it, really speaks to me. But you can do your part to try to make the world a better place without feeling its weight on your shoulders. The world problems are not your problems. You have your own problems in your family, in your circle of friends, in your professional life, within yourself, your health, your mental well-being, everything around you. You have your problems, and those should be your priority. If you obsess over the world problems, you will find yourself anxious and desperate and hopeless, because the world is a wonderful place, but it is also quite a mess. It is very messy. And if you spend your days thinking about all the problems that we have in the world, you will go crazy. You have to learn how to do your part, but at the same time separate yourself from the problems that are in the world. I'm not sure if this was what Melanie Murphy meant when she said that the world problems are not her problems, but that's how I interpret it, is that I have to learn how to distance myself a little bit. Being cool is overvalued. This is something that I think everyone should learn, really, after a certain age. Being cool, it is normal to be a priority when you are a kid, a teenager. When you are an adult, not so much. You should do what you want. You should hear the type of music that you like. And I'm not even talking about embracing guilty pleasures. Just screw the guilt. Wear what you like to wear. Listen what you like to listen. And if it is not considered cool, F it. Why are you so obsessed in being cool? That is so overvalued. It is really much better to just do what you want, do what you like. Even if it's the most nerd thing you can do or the most square thing you can think of. If what you want in life is to marry and have kids and have a 9 to 6 job, I'm sorry, I won't say 9 to 5, that is not in reality in my country. We work 9 to 6. Anyway, if that's what you want from life, don't stop doing it because it's boring, because it's not cool. And other way around, don't go travel just because it is cool if you don't like to travel. Some people actually hate traveling and keep on doing it because they think that that is what they are supposed to do, because that is cool, that's how you enjoy life. And some people stop listening to some types of music because it's not cool. You know? I mean, it doesn't make sense. It's your life. You will die. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be morbid here, but I think it is healthy to every once in a while remember that you will die and make a priority check. Why the hell do you care about what's cool, what other people will think about you? Do what you want while you are here. Okay, the next thing is actually what I said before. I did not realize that I had this in my list, which is I learned that even if we cannot change the world, we can be the change that we want to see in the world. You know, that's how the world changes, little by little, when each person, each one of us do something to improve the community around us, our house, our families, our jobs, our neighborhoods. Every little thing that you do, you know, when you think, oh, I wish someone said something, maybe you can be that someone. Or why is there so much consumerism? You know, you can start a change in your house. And if each and every one of us do this, the world will change little by little. Next thing I will never forget, it was a history teacher that told me years ago when I was a teenager. She told us, the class, that we should vote because otherwise we are letting other people choose for us. That is an option, you know, at least it depends. There are countries where voting is actually mandatory. It is not in my country. I'm Portuguese. So in my country you can actually abstain. You can choose not to vote, and I have people in my family that don't. I choose to do it because I never forgot what this teacher told us, that if I'm not voting, I'm allowing other people to choosing for me. Even if I know that my vote won't make a difference, I don't care. I will go there and use my voice, like Emily from Evanescence says in their new album. Related with voting, but not at all, is that I learned that when you are buying something, you are voting for that something. This played a big part in me giving up on eating meat. I understood that whenever I was buying some chicken breasts or whatever, I was basically putting a vote. I was telling the store, the industry, basically the message I was passing by as a consumer was, I like this, please do more of this, you know? And so I'm not perfect. I buy a lot of things that I should probably not buy, but I try to do choices that are more conscious. I talked a little about this in my last vlog, about the products that I don't buy anymore, yada yada. But yeah, this really stuck with me. I don't know where I read this, in a lot of places probably. It's very true. When you are buying, you are voting, basically. So really think about what you are voting for whenever you are buying something. Now, this applies for me mainly to fashion items, clothing items, but it can apply to other aspects in your life too, which is hell yes or no. I have this rule in my mind now because I was brought up not having a lot of money when I was a kid, a teenager. After my parents divorced, we faced some financial difficulties, and as an adult, when I started working, having my money, I bought some stuff that I ended up regretting later. And so eventually I created this rule for me in terms of clothes, fashion items, that is hell yes or no. If I am looking for a pair of shoes, jeans, I always think this to myself. Hell yes or no. If I'm not sure if I want or not, I won't buy it. This has made it so that at the moment I appreciate most of the clothing items I have, and the regrets are less and less. Another thing that I've learned is that if you are feeling down, if you are feeling kind of depressed, get up. Laying down, it will just make you feel worse and worse and worse. Never in my life I felt better after laying down on my bed, you know? So when you are feeling down, get up. If you can, go outside, get some fresh air. I promise you, it will make a difference. It will make you feel better. Even if just a little bit, it will make you feel better. Go take a shower, go outside, do something, but do not allow yourself to lay down for more than, 15 minutes. Now, this is quite a cliche thing to say, but is that no one is me, and that is my superpower. I had to learn this and tell this to myself, even to start this channel. You know, I'm not doing anything unique. I'm not discovering, I'm not creating anything that does not exist on YouTube, like this video. X amount of things that I've learned in X amount of years. There are tons of videos like this on YouTube, but there is none that was made by me. This video is unique because I'm in it, you know? I have my personality, I'm a unique person, just like you are a unique person, and that is your superpower. It is very hard to innovate, to do something completely different, but unless you are actually copying someone, if you are doing your thing, even if it's not super original, if you are putting yourself in there, that is unique. Another thing that I've learned is that it's better done than perfect. And this has been huge for me to keep up with work, keep up with this YouTube channel. I used to procrastinate a lot more than I do now, because it was like I had a mentality of all or nothing. Like, imagine I have to be able to clean the entire room, otherwise I would not vacuum the room or wherever. It was all or nothing. Same with the YouTube channel. I wanted to make the best video I could make, or I wouldn't do anything at all. Same with work, and I learned that this is so bad. It's better than nothing, you know? If The alternative to perfect, or to not perfect, perfect does not exist, but if the alternative to what you want to achieve is nothing at all, better than perfect. Your job, what you do for a living, does not define you. And I've been trying to learn this for myself. I do not love my job. My coworkers actually watch these videos, but they know I don't love my job. I don't. Never did. But I've learned that it does not define me. Not everyone will have the job of their dreams. You can feel fulfilled in your life in other aspects, regardless of your career, of the career you choose. When we are little, we hear adults asking us, what do you want to be when you grow up? Like, if your job defines you, your job is what you are. That does not make sense. Your job, your career is just a small part of your life. It is true that it takes a lot of time of your life. It takes a lot of you, of your effort, of your time, of your health sometimes, but it does not define you. It is not what you are. And that is, I think people that say that are not aware of their privilege. A great majority of people in the world work to survive, Most people work not because they love their jobs, but because they need the money to eat, to pay their rent, their bills, to support their family, and to we live nowadays. There's this obsession to do what you love for a living. If you do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life. It's like that should be your main goal, to find a job that you are passionate about. And I think that can be really toxic, because most people don't have that luxury, don't have that privilege. They don't get to do what they love. And that can make people feeling like their lives are worthless. And that's not fair, You can have a job that you don't like, but if it serves its purpose, if it sustains you and your family, if it is a safe job, for example, if they treat you right, if you are not being exploited in any way, you're pretty lucky. You got yourself a good job, The main purpose of it is to keep civilization going, Every job is useful. Every single job is useful and is valuable, and not every job is a career. Not every job will be fun or inspiring or whatever, But you can get inspiration in other parts of your life. Yeah, I think it's cool if you have that opportunity to try and do something that you love, but do not let your job define you. You are much more than that. You are an individual, you are a person, you are worthy, and you are a family member. You are a son, a daughter, a parent, a boyfriend, a husband, a sister, a friend. You are unique, like I said before. You are your own individual self, and your job is just like a part of your life. Another thing that I've learned, this is related with my curly hair, which I talked before about, is that I can actually rock a short hair. I will try to put some pictures here. I had really short hair and I was able to rock it. I was told my entire life that I could not possibly have a short hair because my hair was curly, or that another thing really mean to say I could not have a short hair because my face was so round, my cheeks are really big, and so I could not possibly have a short hair. Well, I can. I proved them wrong. And yeah, I remember being a teenager and watching Tattoo. You remember the Russian duo? They were both lesbians, but they were not. It was all acting. But you do remember Tattoo? The girl with the short hair. I remember looking at her and thinking when I was a teenager, I wish I could pull that off. I wish my face was thinner so that I could rock short hair. I was so stupid. You don't have to have a thin face to rock a short hair. You know what you have to have? Hair. But now I am done with short hair. Honestly, I really loved it. For a while I cut it, and then I did not immediately started growing it back. I actually cut my hair short several times because I actually loved it, but eventually I was missing my long hair, and I had my hair straightened for a while back then, so I missed having a long curly hair, and so I decided to let it grow, and eventually I was missing short hair, so I shaved this side, and now I get to have the best of both worlds. It's getting quite big now. I have to shave it again. So we reached number 30. I've learned that colorful hair is fun, but it is quite high maintenance and it will damage your hair pretty bad. I've had my hair painted blue and pink. I will try to put some pictures here, and I freaking loved it, but it did take a toll on my hair. It was pretty damaged, but you know, no regrets. It was so fun, absolutely worth it. But yeah, it's something that I learned. And last but not least, avocados. I love avocados. I spent so much time of my life not even knowing that such fruits existed. I think it was actually my brother that introduced me to it, and I fell in love. If you have never tried avocado toast, you need to try it. It's so good. Oh my god. Avocado toast with a bit of black pepper on top. It is delicious. It's so good. I also love avocado in sushi. Every once in a while I like to order in some vegan sushi, and they do these little rolls with rice with avocado on the inside, and it's so good. Sometimes I just open an avocado and eat it, you know, just like that. I'm eating some rice with tofu or something, and I just eat avocado as a side dish. Side dish? Yeah, whatever. So this is it. 31 things I learned in 31 years. I hope you liked it. I wanted to put some random stuff here, some, you know, not that obvious stuff. Let me know in the comment section below what was your favorite thing in this list. Have you actually learned something from this video? I hope so. I can't wait to figure out more about life, to learn more things. We are always learning. And I'm 31. I'm 30 now as I speak. I will be 31 when this video is up. So happy birthday to me. If you like this video, please do give it a thumbs up, subscribe, only if you want to. I make videos every week. They are live on Friday. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!